Welcome to the first video of a 4-part video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I decided to do a 4-part series where I talk about different vlogging topics. Obviously, from today's one, I'm explaining to you guys why I started vlogging in the first place, and then I've linked below when those other videos are coming out and the topics that I'm going to be talking about. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you get notified when those videos go up. And yeah, let's get started. I was always someone that got bored of something very quick, very fast. When I was in high school, I changed my subjects every 6 months, even up until the beginning of my matric year. And if my mother's watching, she can vouch for this because I did. Even though I'm an introvert and I love being at home, I genuinely loved being out. Like, even if my father would just go to the shop around the corner, I would say, can I go with you? And I never sort of put that 2 and 2 together, in a sense that, you know, my household never spoke about traveling or going overseas or taking a road trip. It was never like that in my household. So I knew I wanted to explore, I just didn't know what it was about me at the time. Anyway, I matriculated and I decided to study further, and I really wanted to do photography or interior design. And my father was like, there's no money in photography, there's no money in interior design, you need to do stuff that's gonna bring in money. I know one of us have parents like this or family members like this, where they think specific industries there's no money in it, and that was my father. And my mother was just like, oh my god, just pick a course and stick to it, do not waste my money. I spoke to a girl at the time who was studying public relations, and she told me all about what PR was and that you won't get bored of the course itself, because even though you have your 3 majors, every year you do study something different. And it was very true. I mean, I studied law, I studied psychology, videography, advertising. There was a bunch of really cool subjects that we did out of the 3-year course, because if you study at the Technikon, you do 3 years to get your diploma, and then you opt to study it further if you wanted your degree. So while most of my peers decided to study their degree full-time, I opted to get work experience. So I did my degree part-time over 2 years. And at the time, well, everyone was doing it full-time, I was working as a PR assistant at a PR boutique agency. And that was the first time I got exposed to the back end of a WordPress website. One of my clients, she was an artist, and I had to upload all her artwork on the back end of a website. And it was the first time I was exposed to it, because when you are sort of in the communication, social media, marketing industry, you need to know how to work WordPress or websites in general. So I was like, oh, this is an amazing opportunity for me to learn this and put this on my CV. And at the time, my full-time peers, one of the assignments was to do a blog. And so I was like, oh, this is like the best opportunity. Let me ask my employer to help me set up a blog. So we set it up with those free WordPress sites. I'm also going to use this opportunity to improve my writing skills, because if I wanted to further my career in public relations, I needed to know how to write really good press releases. And I got no exposure to it when I was an assistant. So I set up this website called A Bunch of Nuts Fell Out. Strangely enough, it's still on the web. I don't know why my developer did not pull it down, but it's still there. And I wrote about anything and everything just to improve my writing skills, just to understand the intricacies of how the back end of a website works, and also start to get a head start into when I do get this assignment. Strangely enough, I got retrained from that job. Instagram was introduced and everyone was popping up as like a fashion stylist, fashion blogger. I think at the time nobody really knew what blogging was, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, let me like sort of jump on this bandwagon as well. So I ended up being kind of like a fashion blogger. I got myself an Edgar's account. I was earning a little bit more money, and yeah, I was buying clothes every weekend, because at the time I was pressurized into thinking that you need to have a different outfit all the time. Like, you can't have the same clothes twice on Instagram. I didn't really enjoy it, but I was like, oh, if one is doing it, let me also get onto this thing as well. Prior to this, Kut and I were really dating about 3-4 years already, and both of us never had a vehicle, but we were traveling on like a bus, train and taxi. We were going to all these different places, and I really enjoyed exploring. I just still didn't clicked that I just wanted to travel, and travel would be my passion now. Then Courtney got himself a car, and I ditched fashion very quickly, very fast. Joking. Now I then merged fashion with travel. Kind of like I was taking my outfits and all these places that we would go to, and Courtney got involved into learning photography, and I had to pay my sister to take my pictures because I was still living at home. Courtney and I started going to these small towns, and I remember us going to Jacobs Bay, telling like our friends and family, oh, we're going to Jacobs Bay. And let me tell you, so many people did not know where Jacobs Bay was. Only my colleague who or ex-colleague, she lived in Saldanha, so she knew where Jacobs Bay was situated. A lot of people asking, where is Jacobs Bay and what can you do in Jacobs Bay? Courtney and I ended up going there, and there isn't much to do there, let me tell you, but it's a beautiful West Coast town where you can just literally just go and relax. Courtney and I started discussing, what is this, what are we doing? And I was like, you know what, we don't have money to go overseas. Like, everybody wants to go overseas, we don't have that kind of money. But why don't we make this thing a thing? Why don't we go to all these small towns that nobody's heard of, nobody knows what to do there, and really blog about it? Like, let's travel, let's do that. And he was like, okay, you know, like, I don't think he was on board at the time, but he was just like going with the flow. I mean, I was his girlfriend for 4 years, you know. While we were talking, one of the trends that came out of it was that the way we grew up, I grew up in Easterriver, my husband grew up in both Nova Park and Bontville. Our friends and family go to the same places all the time for holidays, and I remember this as well as a child. We would go to Godini's Spa all the time, or we would go to like these Articafia places. So I remember us going to Hartenbos, but the Articafia one, because it's under one group, because you know you have that family friend or family member who's got timeshare, like a discount. And one of the three main resorts that kept coming up when we were having discussions with friends and family was that, oh, they only go to Godini or to Montague Springs or to Mykonos, and that's it. That's their one family get-away that they go to all the time. And I was like, but why do we keep going to the same places all the time? Like, there's only so many times you can go to Farmyard, there's only so many times you can go to Bergrivier. Like, there's more to the Western Cape and South Africa that we need to be exploring. This is the opportunity for us to show people in our family, in our friend circle, in the communities that we grew up, that there is more to see than just these family traditional places that we go to all the time. Don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong with those resorts. I just think that we need to expand a little, like go and see more, experience different things. But that was literally what we wanted to do, and it was something that came up all the time. Courtney and I were talking and really going to all these different small towns, that this was something that we really wanted to show people in our communities, that there was just more to see and more to life. Because growing up, and I can only speak from my personal experience, growing up, and the same thing came out with Courtney, was that we grew up with almost like this checklist, like you have to finish school, but if you don't finish school and you drop out, you have to get a job. And when you do finish school, you need to go and study further or find a really great job. But there was nothing of a gap year. I remember asking for a gap year, and my parents were like, no, there's no such thing as a gap year. That's like a white person thing. That's not a thing. When you graduate, say for example, like I went to university, when you graduate, you need to get a really good job, and you need to get into those jobs where that pays really good money. Whether you love your job or not, you just need to earn a buttload of money. Then you need to find you a partner, then you need to get married, then you need to buy a house, then you need to have children, and then you die, and that is it. Like, there's nothing of traveling, trying to do something that's out of the box, like me doing social media. Like, no one in my family knows about social media, that there's work in social media, that there's things called marketing and things online like vlogging and blogging and all these different things. A lot of my family members are still stuck in time. They don't see things differently, and this is the one thing that I was telling myself, even though I don't make a lot of money, even though I am not the richest person in this world. I don't want to settle for just this cookie cutter checklist thing that is shoved down all of our throats, that this is how your life needs to be. And I didn't want it for myself. I really wanted to continuously do something different. So obviously I decided to revamp my blog into the stephaniemartinez.com and I associate myself with Small Towns Matter. I am striving every day to show people that there is just more. Even though you don't have a buttload of money to go overseas, you can go to a really amazing small towns, remote small towns, and get a different perspective of how the communities live there and do something out of your comfort zone. That was generally why I started blogging and why I'm so invested in it, even though I've got 2 other jobs that really are my priority. And I also wanted to show the people, the communities that Courtney and I grew in, that you don't have to settle for less. You can do more, and you might not earn money from it. You might only make a little money, but if it makes you happy, then go for it. I try different stuff all the time. I'm not only a travel blogger, but I do wine photography. I work in the textile industry. That's my second job. I do social media and I do textile photography. And it's so funny because my father said there's no money in photography and there's no money in interior design. And I work in a law firm. I do travel, blogging, writing, photography. I'm learning about websites. I am learning about wine. I am doing wine photography. I also started a book Instagram account. I'm doing book photography, and actually I do love reading, if you didn't know that. Now I'm doing all of this stuff, and it's a new world for like my parents' generation and all our aunts and uncles who don't understand it, but it's something vastly different, out of the box. And I honestly don't care what people think about what I am doing, and I have enjoyed blogging ever since. And that's kind of the story of how I started blogging and why I blog till today, because it's still a passion of mine and it's something that my husband and I enjoy doing as a couple, you know, to go and travel every weekend to a different small town. Till this day, Courtney and I never ever speak about making money off of it, and this is what I'll discuss in the next video, why I blog differently. But it was never about the money. I think it was mostly for us to show friends, family, our communities. Like when I tell you my husband grew up in an overpark, there's not a lot that most of them look forward to, and we just genuinely wanted to show people that yeah, you might live in an area like that, but you can do more. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the first part of this series. The next video will be about why I blog differently and why Courtney and I don't really make money off blogging. And there are a few questions that a lot of you guys have asked me, and I will address that in that video. Make sure that you subscribe so that you get notified when the next video does come out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.